is what I'm saying in short. That we get to the board so you know, month after month after month after month, this is what we're doing, and we can see that number improve. That sounds like what you guys were kind of mentioning.
That's what it was, and it was broken down how many days it would take to get the units back online, whether it was like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then it had a cost estimate and what needed to be done in the unit.
Okay. Because I'm back in the finance, you don't have to scroll back up. We was talking about Canterbury at one point. And they said the director said there's six folks living there. One person, I'm assuming is like watching it or something along those lines, and 5 other folks as residents. The fee accountant spoke about going into March, possibly with regard to moving folks. What's going on with the people that's in Canterbury as far as getting? Where are we with these families? What's going on?
So we do have. I'm sorry, Mr. Cooper. You want me to speak on that, or you have it? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Hutton. You go ahead.
Okay, so we do have. There's 5 families actually in the hotel. We have. Let me get this report. 1 second. If I can get this report, can you give me a second, please? Do I have it here? I have it here. So we have was 12 people altogether that was put into hotels at the beginning of August, September. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that have moved out of the hotels and moved into, with their vouchers, and moved into a place. We have one person that, so 7. We have one person that actually reported out to Lansing. We have one person that's waiting for an inspection. Well, actually, we have 2 people that's waiting on inspections. And then we have one that her voucher may expire on February 19th. But if she requests for a new voucher, then she'll have it to March 19th. So all of our people requested vouchers on the 20th of November. They received their vouchers the 20th of November, and their vouchers expires on the 19th of March. So if they do not use those vouchers by the March 19th, then they lose their vouchers, and we have to put the families in public housing. So as of right now, if any of them lose their voucher, we will have to house 1, 2, 3 families. So we do have 5 families actually in the hotel right now. And one should be moving into public housing one day this week. Am I correct, Rachel? That's in the hotel right now?
That is correct. Actually, there's 2. One, she signed her lease, and then the other one that you're speaking of. So yes, that's correct.
Okay. So we are keeping a daily log with HCV. She lets us know something on a weekly basis of what's going on with each of the participants, to let us know either if they signed a lease or whatever, because we have to stop everything. We have to stay in contact with the hotel for them to stop billing us, and also stop the per diem check. So they are in contact with us at least once a week. And we're in contact, Rachel is Ms. Matthews, in contact with the residents quite often.
Okay, yeah. So with regard to this, they have up until the 19th of this month where their voucher expires, and then they have an option.
March 19th.
But,
March 19th. This is February.
Well, right. I'm saying, so does it expire in March 19th, or do they have an extension from February 19th to March 19th?
So what happens is, if they request an extension, let me explain that, I'm sorry. So February 19th is their 90 days.
Right.
February 19th. So if they request for an extension, it goes, and that's the 120 days. It's March 19th is 120 days. So after March 19th, they no longer have a voucher if they don't use it.
Okay. And
reasons why Rachel is working with them very closely, because if they're not doing their part, because they have to fill out a form and they have to submit forms saying that they trying to look for units, and they have to submit the forms once they pick up their check to say these are the places that I went to try to find a place. If they're not doing their part, we can say, okay, well, you're not doing your part, so here's a unit in public housing because we got to get you out this hotel because you're not trying to find a place. So we have that option.
Yeah, I'm trying to. We've had this discussion before. I'm trying to find out what the disincentive is to just letting the clock run out and then getting put into public housing.
Well, we do know that a couple of people actually are working on getting out of the hotel. It's not like they're just sitting there waiting on inspections on their landlord part. Mm-hmm. So we done did everything we're supposed to have done. So you have a couple of people that's waiting on inspections. Literally, we have maybe one person that's still looking for a place that may have to wind up coming over to public housing.
Okay.
Chairman, if I can add and bring some insight, because we did discuss in the financial committee, but for the board and yourself, just so I want to, in my experience, the Housing Choice Voucher Program is very different than the public housing program.
Yes.
And residents of the public housing program and sometimes don't adjust well to the Housing Choice Voucher Program. The Housing Choice Voucher Program, a lot of people like the program and want to be in the program but don't understand the requirements of the program and what it takes to be successful in the program. And so if we have identified public housing residents that's going to take Housing Choice Vouchers, great. That's a great approach. But again, like Ms. Sutton said, sometimes when we talk to, the lay person, they don't understand public housing operations. That's not something that anybody would understand unless you're in it. And I think for us, these residents, these last remaining residents, and this is what I spoke to Ms. Sutton and Ms. Matthews about, we have to wrap our arms around them and move them along. And at this point in time, right now, make it clear to them, if you don't move along by this point in time, I have a warm, safe unit for you that you're going to have to go to. And we have to be clear in that communication. We have to be empathetic in that communication, because as the Housing Commission, we can look unempathetic if we go about things wrong. And the Housing Choice Voucher Program, again, I tell the board, it's not easy a transition for public housing residents. And so I think anytime we're looking at saying a person in the public housing program can take a voucher unit and give a voucher, we have to then wrap the resources around them, or this is what it will take them up into the max to find a place, because it's not an easy process. And so, we are the Housing Choice Voucher Program. We are the public housing program. The two is not like the two programs. One is in Inkster and one is in Alaska. And I'm sorry for being facetious. They both are here in Inkster. We have to work amongst each other. Both programs work together and wrap the arms around these remaining residents to move them along. And if, again, now we're seeing that some are challenged, right now has to be communication, verbal and written communication, that at this point in time, this day, if you are not, in a voucher unit, your unit will be 244 Hickory Street, 244 Pine Street. We have to be clear on our communication, and that's what we will do, because I understand there's concern. So we will identify some public housing units for these residents, and we will communicate and correspond with them that by X day, when Ms. Sutton gets the date, by X date, if you haven't found a unit, here's your assigned unit. Assigned unit. We can't give you options. Here's your assigned unit, because we have to get you out of the unit. We got to be clear, and we got to be direct with those residents.
Okay. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.